Hello friends, in the last session we talked about visual culture, and as I promised, today we are going to talk about the theories, not talk about the theories but about the application of visual culture, how it can be made interesting. So here we go. These are the various things we will be focusing on: visual perception, its key components, form perception, depth perception, color perception, and we will stop the interaction with that. So what exactly do we mean by this? Now the first question we will ask ourselves is, what is perception? We talk about perceiving things, experiencing things, but what exactly does it mean? Well, we will not go into scientific theories about it, but what we are going to focus on is the fact that at a very basic level we have sensations. We have 5 sense organs and they manage to send us various kinds of signals, and then there is interpretation. Now let us get this clear. For instance, when I am looking in front of me, let us say I see you, but what I see basically are a series of colors or a group of colors of various kinds, certain forms, and I am able to locate them at a certain distance. What I am able to do is I use my memory, I use with the help of memory interpretation, and I say that okay, what I see in front of me is a human being. So perception involves first the sensations, which are then within the brain processed compared with existing knowledge, memory and images of earlier human beings I have seen, so that within the scheme of things, within a schema, finally I say that okay, what I am seeing is a human being. So obviously in the context of perception, there is something that you see in visuals and some kind of interpretation, judgment that you make of it. So you combine the two and you have perception. If we quickly go back to some of our very early classes where we talked about the concept of interpretation, you see a glass of water and you say that what do I see? I see a glass of water. Somebody says that what I see is symbolic of hope. So what is happening is that the moment these things happen, the experience of seeing is being processed in different ways. Or somebody says that I see a particular kind of a glass which is different from the other kinds of glasses I have seen so far, and somebody says that the water is clean. So you are looking at the same thing, the sensations being perceived are the same, but the way you interpret it may vary from person to person. Okay, without going into the details of things, in philosophy, psychology and cognitive sciences, perception is the process of attaining awareness or understanding of the sensory information. So whatever you experience through the senses, okay, receiving, collecting, the action of taking possession, apprehending with the mind are the senses. So grasping, that in a very broad way can be can be defined as perception. We will not go into these, but very quickly you see that stimuli is transmitted in our brain, sensations, then at that point of time it is devoid of any meaning or interpretation. These are the simplest building blocks, but then they are taken up by the mind, they are analyzed with the help of memory of various other things that are stored in our minds, and then they are given a name, a definition, interpreted, remembered for future use, and then we have what is known as a perception. Now interestingly, one of the very significant thinkers about perception, philosopher, psychologist William James, tells us that part of what we perceive comes from outside, but the major part of it comes from within the mind. And that is how you see that when we talk about illusions and various interesting other things of that kind, you see that his saying makes sense within that particular kind of context. Now I will be showing you a few images and we will be talking about them. If you look deeply into this particular image, right at the center of this image, then you see a triangle. Okay, the triangle apparently does not exist, but if I ask you this question, why do you see this triangle? What is basically happening? Why is it that you are seeing this triangle, this white triangle, and not anything else? Isn't it possible to say that actually this is a pattern? This is a pattern, these are not circles, these are only almost incomplete circles like a cake half eaten. Can't you consider that these are 3 angles which have been placed there? Why after everything is said and done, you again look at the center and perceive a triangle? Because you see that a process of interpretation is going on. You are assuming, you are framing, you are kind of conceiving that, okay, if an invisible or a white handkerchief folded and is placed on 3 circles and a triangle at the center of it, then probably this is the pattern which will emerge. Why is it that we perceive things in this particular way? These are intriguing questions. People still struggle with the answers. We have interesting answers for why this happens. In this case, when we have completed certain things, we have learned about the basics of form perception and depth perception, probably we will get a little better idea about why this happens. Now, to resolve ambiguities and make sense of the world, the brain also creates safe from incomplete data. So, the data you saw right now was incomplete, okay, and we have a tendency to try to complete what is incomplete. So, this is incomplete and we try to complete it, and in the process of trying to complete this, if we have a pattern like this, then we say, wow, this completes the pattern. So, this tendency of the brain to complete that which is incomplete is probably at the basis of why we have subjective perceptions of this kind. So, illusions. Earlier also I shared with you another illusion, and here is another example of the illusion where you see that this line looks much larger than much smaller than this line. This line looks much larger than this line. Why does it happen? Obviously, if you will measure, then you will find that both the lines are of the same length, but you see that you are seeing the thing in 2 different ways. At one point of time, you are seeing a 2-dimensional image as a 3-dimensional space where you have a building block. You can see this as a wall moving over here, and then there is another wall which is connected to this. This is one kind of seeing that you are doing. At another point of time, you are trying to see something as a flat surface, and you are trying to make comparison between 2 lines which may or may not be of equal length. So, you see that 2 kinds of seeing are at conflict with one another. So, again this is about perception, which tells us that perception is not very easy, not very simple. There are complexities involved, there can be conflicts which can give way to certain kinds of understanding which lead to what is known as illusions. So, the earlier example was where there is a tendency to complete things which are incomplete. In this example, we find that 2 different ways of seeing can exist at the same time and create a conflict, thus giving rise to what are known as illusions. So, in this case, it is because of something which is known as size constancy. The further away a thing is away from us, the smaller it looks. Now, this is something which we use very significantly when we experience the concept of distance. We will talk about it in a little while from now. Orientation is something which we took up a little earlier, if you remember. Now, let us talk about it in a more detailed way. We are oriented to see things in specific ways, and hence you see that this is interpreted as convex and this is interpreted as concave. Let us take this exploration a little bit further. Why is it that this happens? Because we assume that this area is in shadow, okay, and in this case this area is in shadow. These are our assumptions. Why are we making such assumptions? Because in our day to day life, generally light comes from the top, and if light comes from the top and if an object is convex, then the shadow will be on the lower part of the convex surface, and if it is concave, then the light will be in the lower part and the shadow will be in the upper part, and on a convex surface the light will be on the upper part and the shadow will be on the lower part. So, you see that the preconditioning orientation that we have had towards seeing lights for almost at all points of time from the top makes it very easy for us to make these kinds of interpretations, but these are nothing more than perceptions of specific kinds. Now, let me take a moment to twist this and change the orientation, you will find that we will face a certain kind of a difficulty. Okay. So, what we have here right now, which I will quickly share with you, is that now it is probably much more difficult to find out which is the convex surface and which is the concave surface. And this happens because you see that when it comes to light from sides, the light can come from any side, and windows you find can be located on either side of the room, and the light naturally has an issue coming in a particular way. So, orientation is very important for us. What we see over here is a little earlier we talked about the fact that the Chinese read from the top to the bottom. We also talked about the fact that the people who read, let us say, Arabic or Urdu script read from the left to the from right to left. That means that this is the way they are oriented. Let us do a small experiment. Look at both the lines that you are seeing over on your screen. Which one seems more easy to draw, this one or this one? Which one seems more easy to look at, this one or this one? The generic answer for most Indians would be that this object on this side is easier to look at from left to right, and very often from the bottom to the top. So, it is slanting up. That is very often the way we scan things, and this is important to remember, because whether it is advertising or hoarding or a presentation which we are making, if you realize this, then you will realize that based on that you can design it in such a way that the image can be either placed on the left hand side or the right hand side, depending on what exactly you want the person, your audience, to look at first. Okay. So, this can be a very interesting strategy for the future. Now, we will not go into the details of this. The eye is there. From the eye the information goes to the brain, and then to the more advanced part of the visual cortex where processing takes place. But you see that when we are talking about the eye, we have rods which are monochrome and activated even in low light. We have cones which give us color vision, but as I told you, they are all about sensations. But at the end of the day, what we experience is perception, and I have kind of quickly shared with you how it takes place. Now, let us look at something else, which is attention, because perception is something which is intermediated by or mediated by what is known as attention. Now, let me share with you very quickly something which many of you may or may not realize. Let us take a moment off and look at this particular slide. If I ask you quickly, if you can't see me, that is, if I ask you quickly, what is it that I am wearing which is an artificial device, then probably you will think about it. Some of you, now that you can see me, may remember the specs, but the majority of you might miss out the fact that I am wearing a lapel microphone, okay, over here, which sometimes you can see. So, you might have missed it out. So, what is basically happening over here? What is happening is that you have not been attending to me. If I ask you a series of questions about what is the color of my hair, or what is the color of this thing, or what is the color of that thing, we mostly miss these things. Here is an example of what I was trying to share with you. Have a quick look at it, and then let us go back to the earlier slide. Now, you tell me how many umbrellas were there. Which was the tallest umbrella when we were looking from the left to the right? What was the color of the sky behind the umbrellas? Did we have anything below the umbrellas? Was it the same color? What was the color of the thing which was beneath the umbrella? Was there a gradient of texture? Was there anything else there other than the umbrellas? To many of these questions you may not have an answer, not only because you saw it for a short while, but because you see that if you see it for a long time, you would be attending to it. So, you see that you would be attending to it, and you would be looking at so many different things that you might have missed out. So, what basically happens is that attention is a process, intense process of filtration, of focusing as well. So perception is not good enough. Perception is where we are experiencing everything around us, but focusing is where we are attending to one aspect of things, just one thing at a time. And please remember, even those who are multitaskers, there is the possibility, which research tells us, that only less than 10% of the people can actually attend to two things at the same point of time, or they are actually genuine multitaskers. The majority of us are only capable of doing one thing at a time, attending to one thing at a time, driving and not being able to focus on what we are telling, okay, on the mobile. So that is why you see that driving and mobile, talking on the mobile can be very dangerous. So what basically happens is that there is a process of filtering. It could be for limited mental capacity, but for whatever reason, the end result is that we are able to attend to only one thing at a time. Now this has very interesting implications in the context of visuals. Why? Because you see that if you are able to attend to one thing at a time, then an artist can manipulate your attention. He or she can decide that, okay, if I use this particular color or if I use this particular shape, then it will be more exciting, more interesting. The person will look at this thing first, then he or she will move and start looking at something else next. Now we do a lot of eye tracker studies. Even I and some of my team of scholars do a little bit of eye tracking studies, and we will share some of those slides with you as you look down and look at the material, which tell us that the eyes move in specific patterns depending on which particular object is there. So this is a very interesting thing, as you can see from the eye tracker studies that we will be sharing with you, or we have already said. We'll have to check it out. So now that I have talked about the basics of perception, let's get down to the business of using a toolkit which consists of form perception, color perception and depth perception, because these are the things which are going to help us understand how they can be used more effectively for communication, okay, when you are using the visual medium. Now you see that the term Gestalt, German, we used to indicate the forming capability of the mind, the holistic capability of the mind. And if you remember, right at the beginning we talked about the ability of our mind in the last lecture of trying to complete that which is incomplete. We talked about it a little earlier in the case of the subjective perception of the triangle also. So this tendency is something which has been explored by certain people in the early 20th century, 1940s and 50s, and these people were able to evolve a set of theories as to what happened. Unfortunately, at that point of time they were not able to tell why it happened. Why is it that we tend to see the whole rather than the part, and things like that. Today a lot of research on in the field of cognitive sciences explored these issues, and if you are interested you can see some of Google and find out certain things relevant to this, okay. But getting down to business, these are very informative tools which can help us become more effective communicators. The first point I would quickly like to make is there is something which is known as foreground and background. When we talked about listening, we talked about foreground and background. Today here also we are again talking about foreground and background. If you look at this image with birds, you find that if you are able to identify the black bird, then somehow you tend to ignore the white bird. When you are focusing on the white bird, you tend to ignore the black bird. That is because you see that this becomes the foreground, this becomes the background, and when this becomes the foreground, this becomes the background, okay. So there is a reversible process taking place. We are switching between two different kinds of perception, but more important, we are switching between looking at something as foreground and looking at something else as the background. This innate tendency which exists of seeing something against something else is very, very important for us to realize. If you remember, right at the beginning I talked about frames. You are able to see my face within the frame, you are able to see the PowerPoint within the frame, you are able to see the computer within the frame of your whatever building or whatever, the window, whatever. So we keep on having frames within frames, and in the context of perception or focusing on something, framing or using frames is a very interesting device that we use. So, these are the theorists, although we are not going to look at their theories in detail, who talk about different kinds of form perception, and that is what we will look at. Again, about figure ground relationship, very common description, where you can switch between either looking at a vase right at the center or looking at two faces, but you cannot see both the things at the same point of time, because you are switching between two different ways of looking at things. This can have interesting consequences when you apply that to visual communication. They can make for interesting pictures, intriguing pictures, draw attention, can do a number of things. We talked about subject to contour a little earlier, so we will skip that for the time being. But there is another interesting thing which happens when we are perceiving form, which is we tend to group things together. If you are looking at the 6 lines, we tend to see them as 3 sets of lines rather than as 6 lines. When we see people clustering together, we tend to consider them as a group. Okay, this is one group standing over there, that is another group standing over there, creating groups. This is again a very interesting tendency that we have. We try to make sense of the data which is scattered. In this case, we try to create the shape of a star or whatever. So, this is known as the law of good figure, and this tendency is very much innate, trying to make sense of something. Okay. Continuity, when you are looking at this particular image, probably this is considered as continuous and these are considered as things by accidentally, things which are accidentally over there, and this is another very interesting tendency that we people have, and these are all linked to the concept of forms, different forms, how we align them or how we try to make sense of by linking them together, how we try to get a sense of completeness out of that. So, this is very interesting, and these are small instances of the way we categorize and classify different kinds of forms. Now, here are examples of form perception, figure ground relationship, because you can see over here that the cart, you can either consider it as a part of this landscape, or you can consider it as 2 figures sitting on a horse cart. You can have 2 different interpretations of the same thing, and this is interesting because you see that this leads to switching back and forth between foreground and background, we talked about a little earlier. So, here is a visual artist who has explored that. Here is another where you see that discrete elements are brought together, and if you look closely at it for some time, you can identify a face. Okay. This is another technique which is known as closure, which is again an aspect of form perception, where we try to bring discrete objects together and try to give it a sense of completion. So, we are able to see a woman, we are able to see her hair, in spite of the fact that if we actually look deeply, none of these things exist. Now, we quickly switch to depth perception, and again it is an important aspect of perception. As I told you, if you know about the basics of these 3, then you get a good idea of how you are going to work with it. So, in the context of depth perception, how do we make sense of distance? If you are looking at this image over here, you find that you are able to find that there is a lamp post over here, there is another lamp post over here, there is a still smaller lamp post over here, there is another lamp post which probably is parallel to this. This is a 2-dimensional image, and yet you are able to see things and discern things like distance, the fact that some things are nearer to us, some things are further away. How do we make sense of this? Think about it for some time and jot down a few points before we come down to the way that we do this. Okay, your time is out. The first thing that we do is something which gets linked to the concept of linear perspective. What happens is that, if you remember a little earlier, I said with you that things which are nearer to us look larger, and the same things when they are placed at a distance look smaller. So, if you are looking at the road over here, you find that the road actually takes you further away in the direction of a vanishing point over here. Okay. And you see that if you are looking at long distance roads, they look like this, because you see that the road is gradually becoming narrower until at a particular point, which is the whole line of the horizon. If you actually are able to see the horizon, you are no longer able to see anything other than a point. Here is an example of linear perspective being used. Okay. So, converging lines, you can see them over here. Now, here is another example of the way we make sense of distances, which is, in spite of the fact that they are located on the same plane, we would say that this is in the forefront, this is in the middle, and this is in the background. How do we do that? That is because we have a tendency of interpreting complete objects as being in the front and incomplete objects as being behind them, and hence, although the last object is the largest object, okay, it is the most distant among the three of them, because it is being blocked by this one and then by this one, we consider that this is the object which is in the forefront. So, the further an object is from the eye, the smaller it looks, but and you see that it so happened that in one tribal area where people lived in very dense forests, there was a person, and an European took him away from there and took him to a place where there was a vast landscape with buffaloes at a very long distance. And since this man had never experienced distance in his life, he initially thought that they were ants. So, this clarifies one interesting point, that our understanding of distance is to a very great extent learned. It is not that it is given to us intuitively. There are many such interesting things, but right now we will not touch upon those. We will focus on perspective. As I told you, these objects becoming smaller as they go forward, the buildings becoming still smaller as they go in this direction. So, perspective effect, which I was talking about. Now, having done that, let us look at a very interesting house which exists in a museum, where as you move between the different parts of the house, you will find that as you move from this side of the house to this side, you become very large, and as you move from this side to this side, you become very small. This illusion is based on the fact that you have a distorted house, so that as you move around, you see that the distortion kind of rectifies our perception, and the illusion of moving between a large becoming a giant or a pygmy is something which is created in this apparently magical illusion house. Now, having said that about depth perception and the way that it can be manipulated and can give rise to very interesting effects, let us now talk about color perception. This is the third and the most significant aspect of things, because we live in a world where colors are becoming very dominant. There is a theory which tells us that colors are more conducive to emotions than black and white images. Colors play a very strong dominant emotional role, and there will be some reference slides which will give you an idea about how significant colors are. But here, for the time being, let us quickly touch upon some of the basic aspects of colors. If you are looking closely, you will find that on the left hand side we have what is known as the concept of additive colors. These are additive colors, the way we see it on television screen or in light, and you put a prism and the light colors are divided into the 7 colors. Okay. So, in additive colors, green, blue and red are the main colors, and when green and red are mixed, you have yellow. Green and blue are mixed, you have cyan. Red and blue are mixed, you have pink, and then when all the colors are mixed in the appropriate proportion, you have a white light. This is how the monitor and your screen on which you are seeing right now operates. On the other hand, we have pigments, the sketch pen and the various kinds of things that we use, and we used to explore as kids, and we make sense of color that way. These are known as subtractive colors. The colors become duller as you start mixing more colors, and what basically happens is that these colors, the primary is yellow, magenta and cyan, some form of blue, and as you keep on mixing them, you have secondaries like green, and you have secondary like red, vermilion, you have a secondary like purple. Now, what is basically happening over here is that if you remember in the slide which I have shared with you about making PowerPoints, I talked to you about primary colors and secondary colors, and here are examples of primary colors: primary color 1, primary color 2, primary color 3. These are secondary colors 1, 2, 3, and you can keep on mixing them to make still other kinds of colors. Now, what is the role that colors play? We can have a quick look at some of the things that happen just to give you an idea, because color is a vast field. We will not be able to touch upon the major part of it today, but at least we will be able to get a glimpse of how it operates. Certain colors are extremely bright. For instance, if you want to see the relationship, yellow is much brighter than purple over here. On the other hand, if you are looking at red and green, probably they are equally bright, and if you are looking at blue and orange, orange is fairly brighter than blue, but not as bright as the relationship between, let us say, yellow and purple. These are just to give you ideas about the fact that colors have different kinds of relationships. Colors can be classified as warm colors, cool colors, and a number of other ways of defining colors. Colors can give you a sense of happiness, colors can create a mood of sadness, which is what we will look at. Blue is a color which tends to cool you down, to pacify you, to depress you. So, we have the term blues, okay. Whereas warm colors like cream tend to lighten the mood, make you feel happy, that is why you have sunlight. Green is a color which tends to make you happy, maybe that is why you say that we associate it with grass or for whatever reason. We will look at these issues a little later, that color has such a significant impact. So, brightness, you see that if a color is very bright, we have a tendency to interpret this. This is not very clear on the screen, but you can see this on the PowerPoint which I will share with you, that when a color looks very bright, we have a feeling that it is closer to us. When it is dull, we have a feeling that it is further away from us. Now, this is something which I have already shared with you earlier, but if you look at this, the dominance of blue and green gives a sense of calmness, peace, quiet. Other than the forms which are obviously semantically oriented, they have communicate a certain sense of meaning, of reclining posture, of relaxing, but even if you just look at the colors, they play a significant role over here. On the other hand, the abnormal sky, the time of the day depicted, the shadows, long shadows, do not make this all these things do not make this painting a very attractive painting or a positive painting, especially the color of the sky. If you are looking at this, this is definitely distinctively a negative image dominated by red color, blue, red and deep dark dirty colors. Of course, the form, the use of diagonals which are rushing away from us, all those things definitely play a significant role, but in spite of that, the colors also play a significant role here. And this definitely gives us a eerie sense of distortion of something which is negative. You have apparently colors like pink which are beautiful colors, but in the combination of the red and the black and brown over here, and association of a skinned animal which is hanging somewhere, this gives us a very disturbing picture of things, from predominantly through the use of and the manipulation of colors. On the other hand, this has a certain luminosity about it, a certain degree of attractiveness about it, but you see that if you are looking at the lines, the dotted lines, they to a certain extent disturb the smoothness of things. Or if you are looking at this image, part of the image is positive and a part of the image is negative. If I might be permitted to, I can very quickly show you how we can actually play around with it. If you are looking at this part of the image, it is distinctively positive, but if you are looking at this part of the image, then it is distinctively negative. So, you see that this small demonstration hopefully gives you an idea that colors can play a very significant role. Here again you find that in the two Tibetan Thangka paintings, the one on the left, because of the colors, is much more disturbing than the one on the right, which is because of the colors less traumatic. So, colors play a significant role in cultures. Fashion industries thrive on colors at different points of time, different colors dominate. Age, the older people generally tend to use certain kinds of colors as opposed to younger people, and even that depends from culture to culture. Classes difference within quotes, people who are financially better off generally tend to use less bright colors, whereas people in the lower economic strata very often use bright colors. So, trends of fashion colors dominate everywhere, including in advertising. And here are some examples from Betty Edwards' experiments with her students, where you see that, as you can see, colors I like and colors I dislike, there is significant difference. The way that colors are associated with seasons, and those colors are dominantly presented over here. Would give you an example. The same with this also, color I like and color I dislike, and you find that between the two students there is a certain degree of similarity. Similar patterns of colors are being used. Okay. Similarly, if you are looking at expression of anger for a group of students, you find that similar colors have been used, or expression of sadness for a group of students, again similar colors have been used. And our own findings in a series of study with more than 60 students also gave us certain colors. The colors used dominantly in disgust, the colors dominantly used for peace, for sense of romance, for sadness. You can find that the colors are distinctively different, and these are dominant over 60 students. So, the majority out of the 60 students make use of these colors. So, this tells us that colors are also classified, understood in similar ways within a specific culture, and that means that if we can make use of this knowledge, then when we are addressing somebody, then we can take care of things in a more effective way. Our studies also here give you an example of how happiness has been depicted, how anger has been depicted, fear has been depicted. You can see for yourself that they quite interestingly correspond with many of the things I said earlier, and the colors of happiness are related to yellow, green, and blue, interspersed with white light colors. Color of anger dominantly red, yellow and black, and compare it with the picture we saw right at the beginning, by where we talked about, let us say here we talk about anger, and here we talk about something which is very disturbing. Then we find here that colors behave in a specific way, irrespective of the fact that they might belong to even different cultures, European culture and Indian culture. So, these commonalities tell us that through colors we can communicate in a very effective way, and we need to be aware of this. In the final phase of this talk, I will quickly touch upon illusions. I told you that illusions are where what we perceive is not what is true, okay, and we have examples of that. I will not go into the details, you can look them up in the slides, but you see that here examples tell us that, for instance, this does not look like a straight line, but is perhaps this line looks, this particular line over here looks larger than the other line. Perhaps these lines do not look like parallel lines, but they are. So, these are examples. These lines look like curved lines, but they are actually straight lines. So, they are examples of illusions, and here is an example of another illusion where you are able to climb up an impossible set of stairs. Based on the work of Escher, the Dutch painter, this particular concept has evolved, and you can again Google ESCHER and find a number of wonderful images which explore a realm known as paradoxical images. In paradoxical images, nothing is necessarily correct and nothing is necessarily incorrect. You have different ways of seeing things. However, before we go on to that, here you can see that although the color of this square is the same as the color of this square, because the configuration against white and against green, you see that they have an interference effect on our eyes, and we see two different sets of colors, this as one set of colors and this as another set of colors. And here you see that I was talking about paradoxical images where transformations are taking place, and you can look up Acer's very exciting images to get an idea about them. And the way that transformation, day is transformed into night, night is transformed into day, sky is transformed into earth, and earth is transformed into sky. So it's a very interesting image, and these are paradoxical images artists play around with, which are exciting, interesting. Here is another. I will not go into explaining these, but I will just share with you how images manage to communicate paradoxically or create illusions which have very strong impact upon our minds. This particular image which seems very impossible until all we do is we turn it round and we suddenly realize that it is very, very possible, because Fukuda's experiments are very interesting, and you can again check him out by on the web. Okay. So I hope that we have had an interesting session, and you learned certain things which you can use in the context of visual communication. As I told you, please check out the links for some very exciting surveys, some very interesting images, and the way you respond to them will tell us a lot of things, and we will share your responses with you, so that we together are able to make some small, tiny, interesting discovery together. And I hope that these lessons will at some point of time help you in evolving better communication strategies using visuals, because now you know both about visual culture as well as how to apply visuals in various aspects of everyday life. Thank you, friends.